Hello everyone and welcome back to the Great Book of Grudges. My name is Nathan and we're back with another Total War Warhammer video. Today we're going to do something a little bit different. You see, there are many terrifying monsters in the Warhammer Fantasy Battles universe, many of which have been implemented into the Total War Warhammer series. But what are the most terrifying? What monsters instill the most fear in the hearts of mortal men that can send them running for their lives? In this video, we're going to discuss the top 10 most terrifying monsters in the Total War Warhammer setting. Starting off at number 10, we're going to look at the zombies. While the zombies might not be as terrifying as you might think, they truly are. You see, zombies themselves are reanimated flesh, brought to life by necromantic powers. Now, imagine yourself as a soldier of the Empire. You have been called to war alongside your brothers, friends, and acquaintances from the same town. There is a rising threat in Sylvania, and the dead must be expunged. However, you're up against forces of necromantic power. As you fight alongside your friends against armies of the living and the dead, you'll start to see them fall. Now, the necromancer will use his dark magics to make them rise again. Your friends and your family now rise to serve a darker master in the form of a zombie. They cannot recognize you, they're unthinking, unfeeling. All they wish to do is follow the command of their master, as soon enough, your very own brother grabs you by the throat and rips into you as he tears you limb from limb. What is more terrifying than your own family member being turned against you? For our 9th spot, we have the generic Skaven, the Clan Rat, Storm Vermin, and Slave. Now, why are these so terrifying? Well, simply because they live right below your very home. Rat-like humanoids, which may or may not exist, but there are rumors of hundreds, thousands, maybe even millions of these beings living under the cities of mortal man. What good are your weapons when you're outnumbered 100 to 1, when without notice they can easily swarm out of the sewers and slaughter or capture any who may stand against them or may try to run? There are talks of a mighty under-empire where millions upon millions of these humanoid rats dwell, waiting for the perfect time to strike, to turn the denizens of the world above into food, slaves, and more. For our 8th spot, we have the Greenskins, orcs, goblins, and the like. They are not terrifying in terms of appearance. While they can be intimidating, what sends men into fear is the fact that the Greenskins themselves are a completely random race. You never know when they will come. You never know when a massive horde of screaming green monsters will appear at your door and lay siege to your territories. A green tide which is seemingly driven by no exact purpose, rather than just reckless destruction. For our 7th spot, we have the common Beastmen, Gores, Ungores, and the like. A force of pure, raw, bestial rage, pushed on by darker powers. There are rumors that once, many years ago, the Beastmen were men like you and me, where the raw, corrupting powers of chaos fused man and beast and created a race of beings which seemingly has no purpose. Very much ignored by their own patron deities, the Beastmen travel around and lay waste to anything they find. The Beastmen loathe civilization and technology. They believe that the world should be primal, for that of their darker powers. The world is theirs by right, a dark entity of destruction. No man, being a Sigmarite, nor even a Chaos Warrior, deserves the right to live. For our 6th spot, we have the Vampires. Deathless, magical beings of pure power. They do not age, but rather sustain themselves on the blood of mortals. These creatures lurk in the shadows, planning many dark and nefarious deeds, and can take hundreds of years before they act upon them. Some of these monsters are masters of disguise. You might have seen one walking down the street, and you may not have known. In fact, that very same vampire could be planning a takeover of the town that you live in right now. However, due to its deathless age, it could take many years before he'll actually act upon it. You could be long dead, many years have passed since you've been put to the ground, yet that vampire now may decide to strike, where one of your great-great-grandchildren might even become a thrall in his service. For our 5th spot, we have the Dread Saurian, one of the largest creatures to ever walk upon the Warhammer fantasy world, even in recent days. Not many citizens of the Empire, Bretonnia, and other human nations would be aware of the Lizardmen. In truth, the higher echelons would rather you not be aware of them. They are indeed potential allies, but the Lizardmen themselves work in such more mysterious ways. Following their great plan, they could potentially turn on you and wreak havoc on any human settlements. When much more brute force is needed than normally available by the Lizardmen, a Dread Saurian will be called to battle, a hulking massive behemoth where its hulking mass can barely fit through most streets. This is a monster of pure destruction, where even the Lizardmen themselves sometimes struggle to keep control of it. This beast can not only swallow a single man whole, but whole entire regiments. Think twice before you wish to enlist in an expedition to the jungle lands of Lustria. For our 4th spot, we have the Zombie Dragon. Dragons are majestic beasts, rarely seen in recent days. Most find themselves hidden as they wish to rest and be undisturbed, whilst others might find themselves in locations such as the Imperial Zoo. However, sometimes these majestic beasts will find themselves trapped by darker powers, specifically those of the vampires and necromancers, killed and risen again in unlife, where once these majestic beasts brought awe to the eyes of the simple peasantry, now they bring only fear and terror, where these massive flying creatures, now rotting in form, attack and devour anything in their path. Zombie dragons are indeed rare. However, they have been seen more and more as necromancers lead expeditions to find their hidden burial grounds. For our 3rd spot, we have the Rotting Leviathan. It's a common misconception that the seas in the Warhammer fantasy world are safer than the territories on land. However, many dark and mysterious beasts roam the oceans, creatures which lurk in the dark ocean floors. There are many which are living, but in most recent years, the vampires, specifically those of the Vampire Coast, have been taking to raising these beasts into unliving monstrosities. These monstrosities, now unliving, unthinking, and unfeeling, are nothing but rotting shells of their former selves. For our 2nd spot, we have the Hell Pit Abomination. As if the Skaven weren't terrifying enough, their master mutators have been at work at creating terrifying monsters, the most terrifying of them being the Hell Pit Abomination, a creature brought to life by horrifying experiments stitching together unwilling subjects, not only living humans but also Skaven too. A hulking mass of flesh thrashing about in pure agony. It knows nothing but unending pain, and it wishes to inflict it on those who may cross its path. The Hell Pit Abomination knows no purpose. Held together by crude stitching and warpstone, this monster screams in agony as it rips through enemy lines. And for our 1st spot, we have the Chaos Spawn. Now, I know what you're thinking. How is this a terrifying beast? But the Chaos Spawn is by far one of the most terrifying monsters in the Warhammer Fantasy universe. You see, even the Chaos Warriors themselves fear becoming one. It is living but unthinking flesh, nothing more and nothing less. Where many Chaos Warriors will strive for the attention of their Chaos Gods, there is always a chance of these warriors, mostly champions and sorcerers, failing them, and as punishment, their personality, their feelings, their mentality, their very way of being, even what was left of their humanity is stripped from them, as they twist in agony and transform into this horrifying creature. No Chaos Spawn looks the same. Each of them unique in their own way, showing some form of personality of who they used to be. But that man, woman, child, even beast is no longer there. When becoming a Chaos Spawn, now you are cursed to roam aimlessly across the Warhammer world, attacking anything that may cross your path, even your former friends and family. You are doomed to wander until eventually some heroic champion may finally take you out of your misery. But that was our top 10 list of the most terrifying monsters in the Total War Warhammer series. I've done this list a bit differently to how most other content creators will go for, whereas rather than just showing absolute terrifying monsters, I wanted to go for something that plays more in the psychological route. I hope you enjoyed this list, and what would be your top 10 most terrifying monsters in the Total War Warhammer series? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and let's start a bit of a discussion. But with that, my friends, we've come to the end of our video. Thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy the video, might I suggest giving the video a like, or even subscribing to the channel, as it really does help us out. In the description section below are various links to different social media platforms such as Facebook, Instagram, and Discord. Also in the description section is an affiliate link with Element Games where you could buy loads of hobby-based products, not just Warhammer, for 10 to 25% off. Making a purchase using that link and also our special code, which is also in the description, supports the channel at no extra cost to you, which we think is rather cool. A big thank you to our patrons. Your support means the world to us. It's amazing that people want to help a small channel like us grow and get to a higher level of content. A big thank you to Gibraltar LUSC, Ryan Bertsche, Andrew Prince, and Okro for subscribing to us at our Fane level. You guys are super cool. And a big thank you to Edward Yule, VS Vasan, Aaron Whitman, and Shaggy for subscribing to us at our King level. Honestly, we can't thank you all enough. And lastly, a big thank you to all of you for liking, sharing, and commenting on these videos. Honestly, it's because of you guys that the channel's been growing at such a great pace lately, so we can't thank you all enough. But with that, my friends, thank you so much for watching once again, and we shall see you all again very, very soon. Have a good day.